What would your younger self be impressed by in your current season?
Hold on 1 second. I had to. The spirit put that on my heart. No cap before I came here, bro. And the fact that you just went there on that same type of video post, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tripping off that. But
Then go ahead and share.
I'm tripping off that. No.
Something about that in Vacaville, bro. Like,
and I'm in like the thick of it.
Yeah,
because
like right over there, it always is over in that area.
It happened. It flooded there back in, I want to say that was 2017, and I was like, the irony of us moving back here and them talking about there being a major storm this year.
They're talking about that?
Yeah,
for real.
There's supposed to be like one more storm in September, but I don't know about that.
You be watching? Is that on the news? I'm trying to figure out.
Told me.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch the news like that.
I didn't know if it was the news or the little alert you get on your phone.
So I just turned that on too.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like just being curious, like, let me know.
I was about to say, because I for sure didn't get nothing. Yeah. That's why I was asking.
I just turned it on like the other day.
Mm.
But yeah, man.
All right, so well, I guess we waiting for Donald. Can we get this thing jamming?
Go ahead and start, man. I'm good. I'm just
putting in them good captions.
Right, the facts.
Go ahead, Josh.
The hashtags. What's going on, y'all? We are here back at it again on another Wednesday night for you. At what time, Jay?
6. Yes, 6 is time. Sorry.
What happened last time?
Yeah, what happened? Where were your antennas?
Blame Marco. No, I'm joking. I honestly just overbooked myself, and then it was like 4:30, and I'm like sitting there with it, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't finish the episode. Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
No. Anyways.
But yeah, you feel me? I'm back with my brothers. To the right of me, we got Don the Baptist, Mr. AKA of AKAs. What was it? California Dad? Cali Fresh?
See? There's a reason.
I was waiting for him to look up.
Cal Fresh.
There's a reason why there is a host to the show. And you stay to the left in your lane, but not in the center.
What is he? He's an MC. You feel me? The MC. We got this thing rocking. We just trying to get the show going for y'all. That's all.
If you don't line up,
and then I got my saucy bro over here.
Oh yeah, brother. I got this. What they call it a hood tuxedo now. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my cousin Drew. Got this good tech suit on.
Why they call it a hood tuxedo?
Because all the hood dudes have been wearing this, I guess.
Really?
This is comfortable. As a person,
it looks comfortable.
As a person that wears sweats,
yeah,
invest in this. I got this as a gift.
You know I wear sweats dang near every day, bro.
But when I tell you the pants are like, they're not sweats. They're luxurious.
From where?
Nike.
But at the Nike, are they at the Nike outlet or online?
It's like online, I think.
Oh, okay.
Again, I got it as a gift. I'm not balling like that.
I ain't gonna lie, because it might be like $125.
Like a grip.
Yeah.
A pair of shoes. But anyways, what's happening, baby?
what's happening?
Oh, he just sent it. You just posted it?
Yeah, I just posted it, man.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go then. Boom.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Cue me.
We in there, man. Okay, let me go ahead and let me get back. Let me get
man throwing off the flow, man.
Back,
man. On you, man.
Appreciate your ministry, Josh.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying.
Anyhow,
ministry
hey, look,
helps.
man. It's Don the Baptist here on Watch Me Develop Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever it is that you're from the interwebs, whether you're on the platforms, whatever it is that you are checking us out on, we appreciate your support. We appreciate you rocking with us. To the left of me,
Yes.
fresh to death, none other than Ergo Dog Extraordinaire, Mr. Inventor of Suisun City,
Hey,
California, a.k.a. the Barber of the Bay, Joshua Bonds.
Man.
I'm trying, y'all. I gotta get smooth like you, though. Feel me? I'm not.
He
sharp
does
at
it
this
every
time.
day.
He does do it every day. Every day. Your consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. And then to
1,000
the right of yeah, man, 1,000 free throws.
You feel me?
Hey,
Mamba mentality.
to the right of me, I have none other than
Derecha.
media production extraordinaire, aka my engineer when I gotta spit them bars in the studio.
Oh yeah, brother.
snap.
It's on the way.
Husband of one, father of two.
Hey.
John Butcher Jr.
Me.
Yeah. And so, yeah, man, it's the three of us. We here, man. Watch us develop. And hopefully you guys have been inspired to be developing something as well, man. And we want to hear from you guys, man. Reach out to us on Instagram, IG, and let us know some of the things that you guys are working on. We'd love to hear what it is that you guys got cooking. And hopefully maybe we might even be able to give you some pointers to help you out with some things and maybe troubleshoot some things or whatever, give you some advice, help you to get a better understanding of how you should move forward and share some of the bumps and bruises that we've gone through on our journey. And hopefully that'll help, put you a little bit ahead of the game. So please reach out to us, man. Let us know what's going on. And maybe stuff that you haven't started developing yet, stuff that you just spitballing and thinking about. And maybe we can help you take the first steps.
Yep. And maybe it might be some stuff that y'all could share with us and encourage with us.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know it's people that's
don't
out
know
there that's
everything.
a little bit more head on the journey than we are, too. So we open to that. And also, we want to hear about it because I know we need to get somebody else on the show.
Oh, we definitely got some people coming on the show
and
soon.
very soon.
Soon and very soon. We're going to get some.
Somebody. We got people that we've already talked about. I know Josh got like 2.
I got a few.
We got a few of them that's.
We gotta
Lined up.
get Big Co before he gets another 5 offers, man. Like, it just seems like
Facts.
every other week it's like somebody comes knocking.
Bro, I literally just got done texting one of the recruiters right now. He was texting us, man. So, it's bananas, yo, man. But it's a blessing just seeing what's going on with him. It's funny that you said what you were saying earlier when you were sharing on the live, Josh, about how you were like really discouraged in your journey of trying to get things rolling with Ergo Dog, and how it was basically one of those kind of ram in the thicket situations, right? Like, I already had a provision for you,
for
right?
sure.
Already had a provision for you. And what's funny is that it's been like that with Jericho, like on his journey. It's been like that because I remember it was probably, and I had to remind him of this. I was like, man, it was probably back in early May, maybe, that he was just like really frustrated and was like almost to the point of tears where he was just like, man, I haven't gotten any offers yet. And I haven't gotten any stars and this and this and that. And I'm like, bro, it's going to come in time, son. You just got to, just be patient and let it take its course. And then like in a matter of like a week, this dude like got hit up by, and got invited to the ESPN underclassmen elite, the Under Armour camp, and then went there, and then like just like the doors like busted open from there.
Yeah.
And so it was just crazy how, a lot of times we get impatient because we put our time, our parameters on a situation, and because it's not moving along as quickly as we think it should, or it's almost like sitting there watching that cake rise. You're trying to watch the cake rise, watch the pot boil. And if you just stay busy, man, just continue to be consistent and continue to keep doing what you've been doing. Like, just put your head down and work. It's gonna come about like it's supposed to.
It's definitely understanding seasons. I was hearing a preacher like last week. Obviously, we've heard the story of David a million times, but the fact that it was years and years and years after David was anointed before he became king, like he still had to be in a certain position to like. David could have acted in any type of way during that time. He was waiting to be crowned king, literally, but, he was still consistent in what God had called him to in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, can you be faithful over this little bit before I give you a lot? And that's one of the things I think about often is like, you kind of think like, well, I feel like I should be farther than this. I know for me, like in production, there's a lot of things that I want to do and I feel like I should have access to, but be faithful with the videos you're doing right now, or be faithful with the edits you're doing right now, or be faithful with the relationships that you have right now to make projects and do creative things.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like I was experiencing today. I feel like every day I'm probably experiencing a little bit of frustration. You know what I'm saying? And I hear like that when you were just talking about Jericho, like, dang, man, I haven't gotten anything. And really, it doesn't come from anywhere bad, right? Like, hope is tied to expectation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing wrong with expecting something. But I think when that frustration sets in, sometimes it might just be a matter of just being discouraged in the moment, or just unclear communication, or not just getting it out and communicating your expectations with God, you feel me? Or with the spouse, or with whoever you may be in business with.
Shoot, with yourself sometimes.
With yourself sometimes.
But here's the thing about expectations, though. Here's the thing about expectations. One of the things that frustrates me, because even with expectations, you get frustrated, right? One of the things that irritates me is when I'm driving down the freeway and I see the sign that says expect delays. Expect delays, right? And so in your expectation of, the outcome, you also have to learn how to expect delays that are a part of the process.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like we talk about expectation like always expecting the best, right? In other cases, some people expect the worst, so I'm never let down by anything, right? Which is no way to live, because I've lived there. That was like a generational thing that I had to break off myself, because it's not good to live like that. But you also have to learn how to expect that there's going to be delays that are going to come along, like that things are just not going to come as quickly as you would like them to, that there may be some bumps in the road and so on and so forth. And you have to expect that, but you also, with expecting that, have to expect that you're going to be able to still make progress and still bounce back from whatever it is, the trips and the trip ups and the hiccups and everything. So, I mean, you're right. You have to be expecting, and you have to be clear on what your expectations are too, but you also have to understand, and I think, well, not just you, but all of us have to understand, is that God is in love with the process, right? And I think that the part of the reason why God is in love with the process is when you look at him creating Adam, and I just thought about this. He created Adam, he formed him from the dust, and he was a man, right? He was already a grown-up. He was a man. And then woman came from him, and it was man and woman. Why didn't he make them as babies? But when it came to salvation, the plan of salvation, he brought us a baby. Unto us a child is born, a son has been given, right? And through the process of that son learning obedience through the things that he suffered, he was able to undo all of the things that, all of the things in an instant, but through a process. He undid everything in an instant, but it was a process to get to that instant. And so we have to learn how to love the process.
Yeah. And I think that just speaks to just the virtue of patience. How is it that we wait? How is it that we tarry? What's our attitude and what's our heart behind like waiting? Because that's when I realized myself being frustrated, because it's one thing, for me to be waiting on my kids and be like, all right, come on, Saul, I'm waiting for you, or whatever. To be, Saul, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times I'm catching myself in this season like that, with myself, with the business, you know what I'm saying, with Nod, with God, and I'm just like, all right, bro. I think right here in this moment, as you were just explaining, like expecting, my patience. God is working my patience. He's perfecting me through this. And it's crazy because I'm expecting good things. I'm expecting great things. But I feel like the process of getting there feels like a trial. I don't know why, but that's just how it feels. So
fiery trials, baby.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You go through trials. But also when you become, because a lot of the things we have to look at, we have to become comfortable with certain things. We have to be comfortable with the fact that There's going to be delays. We have to be comfortable with the fact that there are going to be mistakes. Like, God expects us to make mistakes. He expects us to bump our head a few times. He expects us. It's interesting how he expects us to be obedient, but he also expects us to not be perfect while we're being perfected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of what do you call it, dichotomies to things. There's on one hand it's this, on the other hand it's another. And so when you look at the fact that with us moving forward, like, a lot of times we're impatient with ourselves, right? It's interesting because, like, I'm now parenting a young adult, and it's funny, like, you just mentioned the fact of, man, I feel like I should be further along than I should. And I think a lot of us do that to ourselves. And what happens when we do that to ourselves, we're not giving ourselves grace. We're not allowing ourselves to exercise and operate in the grace that we've been given by God to not only be, but also to become, right? Because we're always trying to look at, okay, what it is I'm supposed to become, but not understanding what we're being also in the process. And so being the father of a young adult, you know, when my son became a young adult and entered into adulthood, he, like, had this idea that, you know, I'm supposed to have all these things together, and I'm supposed to have, and everything's going to come together. And it's like, no, it doesn't. There's a process to it. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's steps that you take to it. And so it's the same with us. A lot of times we think that we're supposed to, you know, just automatically take off and run. You know what I'm saying? How crazy would it be, like, speaking of, you know, like Pastor John, like, how crazy would it be, the fact that, oh yeah, he has a new heart, right? And he's healthy now, but how crazy would it be for us to, you know, expect him to run a marathon when we're not realizing the process that he had to go through in order to first be in a position to receive the heart. And now he's in a position of where he has to get acclimated to the heart, and the heart get acclimated to him, and then go through the process of recovery. You know what I mean? So everything is a process, and there's a time to it, but we don't get to call when the time, you know, what the time parameters are.
And that's facts, because, like, I've talked about it to my dad before. I'm like, I guarantee you thought it was going to be like a battery, like, in and out. You put it in, you're good. You can live the rest of your life. But, like, even now, like, his recovery process, how he is physically, because right now this dude is just, his biggest worry isn't necessarily medication, all the side effects of the medication. He's like, man, I'm 150 pounds right now. I'm like, dude, give it time. You can eat, you can work out, you know, praise God that you're able to do it. Like, this dude, he had me tripping the other day when he had posted that he had got that rucksack and he's walking with it now. So I thought it had said 351 pounds. Like, I misread it. I'm like, dang, dude, you feeling like that? You got 350 on your back and just walking 2-3 miles? Yeah. He's like, no, it said 35 pounds. But speaking of social media, I don't know if you guys have seen this video format to where, I don't know what the song is, but basically it's like, man, I've been seeing like a lot of gym stuff. It'll be like, man, I wish I could hit 20 reps of 225. And he's all, and then it flashed back to a picture of the guy as a kid or as like a younger person. Is like, we can hit 225.
Yeah. I've seen that.
I wanted to ask you guys. You know, we always are talking about our current season and like, man, I wish I could be farther than I am right now, or even, you know, I thought I'd be better off than I am right now. What would your younger self be impressed by in your current season?
Hold on one second. The Spirit put that on my heart. No cap, before I came here, bro. And the fact that you just went there on that same type of video post, bro, yeah. I'm tripping off that. But
then go ahead and share.
I'm tripping off that. No. It's like I don't even necessarily have it. I was thinking through, you feel me, like topics and things to bring to the table. And I have been so frustrated, and I have been expecting so many things, and I have been so impatient. And while I was eating dinner tonight, you feel me, I feel like God was just like, all these things that you're expecting, all these things that you're wanting for in the future, like, what about what you have right now? Like, have you taken a moment to just appreciate where I've already brought you. And it was like that sit down moment. So even like for you, when you were talking about testimonies, Donald, and if you can open your eyes and you can see, and if you can smell, and if you can move and you can walk and you're clothed in your right mind, legit, we're rich. My power just went off yesterday, and I was telling somebody about it when I was cutting hair today about how my power cut off, and I was thinking like, dang, I wonder if he's worried now, knowing that my power went out, right? And I'm like, but then I thought,
the barber.
right? You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting back and I was thinking like, dang, thank you, God, for all the days that I've cut hair and my power hasn't gone out. You feel me? I don't even think about that on a regular basis, but I'm able to sit here and earn a living from my family. If I didn't have power, I wouldn't be able to make no money. You know what I'm saying? If I couldn't see, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I mean? So I feel like God just really wants us to be in this, and it ain't just me, it's us, and it's not just us, it's y'all too. You feel me? So I'm excited. I'm gonna think about mine now. I'm gonna stop.
For sure.
Man, so you were saying, so what would my younger self be
like impressed by your current self, like what your current self is doing?
Man, I would probably say, shoot, man, it's a lot of things. No, I'm dead serious. A lot of things. One of them would be the fact that I'm alive right now. The fact that I'm alive, like, dang, we made it. You know what I'm saying? Like we, man, you old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being honest. Like, I remember growing up, and you have to understand, man, that growing up, man, I've always been aware of generational things, generational curses, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to get all supernatural boogity woogity with y'all out there, man. Y'all, but generational curses are a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking from the fact of not to go super deep into it, but my biological paternal grandfather passed away at the age of 26 from a brain aneurysm. And that was a story that I constantly grew up hearing all the time. So I always wondered, like, is that going to happen to me one day? Will I, because to be honest with you, it was something, and even though it wasn't like a huge worry, but like it was something that when I turned 26, that crossed my mind, like, okay, I made it. Okay, 27, I made it. Okay, good. So, that was something that always like kind of lingered in the back of my mind. My father, who passed earlier this year, he technically, was still a pretty young dude, man. He was barely, I don't even think he technically made it to be a senior citizen yet. Yeah, because he was born in 57. So he just barely made it. No, he would have been a senior citizen this October. He would have been 65. So he didn't even make it to be a senior citizen. So he died technically before he was old. He's still, because it's interesting that from, I want to say 45 to 65, you're considered middle-aged. So he died technically a middle-aged man. I just recently found out that my uncle, his brother, was deceased, and he was even younger. Generational things, right? And so, what's interesting to me is that the Johnson bloodline, literally, we're me and my family are the only Johnsons. In name. There's still blood relatives, but we're the only ones in name, and we're the longest lasting Johnson family that there's been. My parents didn't make it, I think, past 16, 17 years in their marriage. Here it is, I'm going on 22 years.
Me.
So, 22 years, man.
No
Trying to get like you, my boy.
Man. 22 years, baby, and was so I definitely know that my younger self would look at like, dang, man, dude, you got kids that are bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? That would be crazy. Like, it's amazing every time I see Ivy and Jericho, man, like just towering over people, and seeing how tall they are and everything, man. Like, my younger self would be like amazed, and it's funny that you bring this up because it makes me want to be grateful now. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about it, like being grateful in the moment for what I have, like not being so caught up in what it is I'm pursuing and what I'm trying to accomplish, but looking at the fact that the younger me, if I looked at a picture of him and like really could see that kid looking at me, like he would be amazed at the dude that I am.
Yeah.
Even when me being myself, I'm not amazed at myself.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's actually a pretty heavy, thing to kind of like fathom and think about.
Yeah.
It is, man.
It puts a lot of things into perspective.
Yeah.
Bro.
What about you, JR?
I know for me, don't think I'm crazy, but I have low key conversations with 18-year-old John all the time. In the sense of, I didn't grow up in a bad neighborhood. I didn't grow up in an area where I was in danger. But I feel like for me, I couldn't really imagine adulthood. Like I couldn't really imagine what it looked like. Not that I didn't have like aspirations or plans, but like nothing really felt tangible to me.
Yeah.
But I was sitting with my kids yesterday. Monday's usually my day off. And I'm just sitting there looking at them. I'm like, it's one thing having kids. And like you were saying, you got 2 kids that are taller and bigger than you. My kids are at the age now where they're having conversations and they have relationship with each other. Mm-hmm. So it's like, not only do I have kids, but I have kids that have a conscience.
Like little people.
Little people,
like little
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That, I joke with Erica all the time, like, we really married with 2 kids. Like, I remember when I first met you. I remember when I first saw you. Or been having flashbacks going to see my baby brother and sister at Vanden, and I'm like looking at all the banners on the thing, thinking back to playing sports, and like, where was my mind at? Like, what was I doing? I was having a conversation with when I had lunch with Noah today, and was telling him about because he's talking about like, I'm thinking about moving out. I was like, man, take your time.
Say that.
I was like,
say that again.
Take your time,
man.
But I was like, he's like, man, how long were you on your own when you first moved out? I was like, I was out in Sac for like 3-4 years, and I started reminiscing and talking. I'm like, bro, where the heck was I at? Like, but I think the younger me would be impressed with just, being married, having kids, being in ministry 100%, because like 18-year-old John didn't want anything to do with being in ministry because it like constantly was, oh, you're a pastor's son and you're going to be a mighty man of God in ministry and all these other things. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But to kind of see like, in the positions that I'm in, being able to serve in the church, not only being able to serve in the church, but being able to serve with my family in the church. Like, a lot of people kind of take that for granted because like the kind of stigma behind it is like, well, you're with family, whatever. But it's like, man, it's a blessing to be able to, again, talk about being thankful, have a family that all honors and serves God and not just a part of us. I mean, of course, there's other family members that, have an awareness of God but don't have a relationship. But those are some of the things that my younger self would be impressed by. Just, of course, you can talk all day about where you want to be, but just 18-year-old John would be, you doing it, man. That's
like a whole fire concept, man. It's just crazy.
It really is, man. It's deep. Because I feel like we spend a lot of time projecting into the future, especially as like adolescents. Like, dang, man, can't wait till I'm 16. Can't wait till I'm 18. Can't wait till I'm out the house. You know what I mean? Constantly looking forward. Mm-hmm. But to be where you're at right now.
Be where your feet are, baby.
Be where your feet are.
Be present, yep.
And then to look back and put yourself in the perspective of the younger you that was looking forward and to think, like, what would younger you think of you right now? It really is a heavy concept. Because it puts you in a position where you can be grateful for, like, the moment, what's here. I'm right there with you, John. Like, we in a lot of similar, seasons. You feel me? We right there. Dang, they've been married the same amount of time, And I found myself, actually, Nadia was just talking to me, and she was like, yeah, because my sister-in-law just had their second baby. And she was like, yeah, that stuff is tough. She's like, she was like, I'm so grateful that we're dang near out of the woods right now. I'm ready to just get on with life, And then, but I'm in the same position as you, Don, to where it's like, we are the only bonds in my family. I have blood relatives, and my dad had 3 boys, but we're the only bonds now, and I don't have any boys. You know what I'm saying? And I've been like, there's this expectation for me. Like, my first child was gonna be a junior. You feel me? Not even a junior. Like, it was gonna be the 5th Steven. You feel me? It's gonna be another Bonds. You know what I mean? And but I have 2 beautiful girls, and I think if I went back and I looked, like my younger self was looking at me like, dang, bro, feel me? You married Nadia? That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all married, how long y'all been married? And y'all got 2 beautiful girls, and you are an entrepreneur, and bro, you actually like patented a product.
Yeah,
like
you
what?
invented
Like
that?
you invented that? Like tell me about that. And here I am stressing about where the business is, because I was expecting a boom straight from the Kickstarter. You know, but it's like, bruh, you have a product, you know what I'm saying? Like you actually got that. And I think that the fact that I'm faithful, bro, I was a dog, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I can hold it down, and that I'm holding it down, that I have a family that's like on the rock, bro. You know what I'm saying? That we actually like pushing our family and growing our family like in the will of God, and trying to teach our kids about faith. It's just like, I never, ever would have thought that I would be here right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with y'all, man. It's something that I feel like we all need to do more, is just sit back and bathe in what God has already done for us.
That's the cool part about it, is that you're talking about. That's a dope concept, because it's like, it's almost like the current you wrapping up a care package of hope and giving it to the younger version of yourself.
Yeah.
And with that part, I'm getting real sci-fi right now, okay? Stick with me. It's like, imagine what 50-year-old you's gonna say.
Bruh, I was just literally thinking like, okay, so me young right now, what would I say to the 50, 60-year-old me?
Right.
Right.